All right, everybody, welcome aboard. I'm going to yell at Leroy Jenkins because that is what this storm is doing. It has just came out of the gate kicking and screaming, and I didn't get to finish up my dinner just a second ago. Well, I did get to finish my dinner just in time, but I looked down my phone, and the tornado warnings are going nuts right now. So here's the situation, what we got going on. This, of course, just as we expected, this line of storms is building up over central Illinois. Actually, it has been building, and they're gaining in strength. And the big concerning item we have right now are these little, I call them fingers, but look for these little divots right here, right? There's one here, one here, one here. There's another one kind of hiding right there. There was one here, but it's kind of falling apart. These are the areas of concern where I'm going to expect little, I'm going to say pop-up tornadoes to pop up in this quasi-linear convective system. This sucker's moving fast. So just to kind of reiterate, the big item we're watching right now is this storm that's moving into Gibson County. Oh, let's check its movement, shall we? Let's see where it's going. So it looks like the actual areas are moving kind of the east, northeast. So this particular area right here that I'm going to be concerned with does look like it's going to move off to probably north of Princeton. So, and let's take a peek at this. So if you're joining us, welcome aboard. It was kind of a quick, rapid start to this thing. If you have any questions or anything, pop up on Facebook. Send me or on Facebook. I have the chat going, and I also have the Rumble Studio chat going as well too. So we're gonna watch this for a second. I'm gonna check out the live stream. I'm gonna go look at it. I have it running on our TV upstairs. I'm gonna run up there and take a look at it real quick, and just see what this looks like. I just want to make sure that everything is looking like it should. So I'll be right back here in just a second. All right, I'm back. And it looks like we did have another tornado warning issued. And what they're doing is they, instead of doing like the county-wide warnings, they're doing these small warnings. Well, we're going to end up with about 50 tornado warnings across the board tonight. So it looks like the biggest areas of rotation are going to be heading into northern Gibson and southern Knox County. It looks like a lot of the craziness is going to be off to our north. Yeah, look at this. But let's not dismiss this, because the storms that are coming to us now, they are packing quite a punch in the winds as well too. Let's check the relative velocity. Oh yeah, check this out. There's definitely some crazy rotation going on there. So these may not be long track tornadoes. It's a possibility, but most likely a lot of these are going to be pretty short-lived. Let's check the correlation coefficient here to see if we got some junk in the sky here. Oh yeah, so if you look up here in these areas, West Salem, Bone Gap, there are some not very clear, but there are some signs of some debris in the air running with those storms. The one I really want to kind of keep my eye on in particular is this section right here as it moves off to the east, because that is going to probably have the best opportunity for some rotation to develop over the the Posey, Vanderburgh areas. Right now, it looks, if you scroll up here on the map, it looks like a lot of the tornadic activity is mostly to the north of our area. However, with this type of storm, actually, if you look here, this little guy right here, let me put my circling on. He's really starting to get defined now. So I'm going to expect a tornado warning coming out of this one here pretty soon. Probably it's going to affect Broton, Norris City, Emma. It's either going to move like this or it's going to kind of move like this. So quite frankly, I'd be more concerned with these areas here. See if I can get a time track on this thing. They updated, so I don't know. All my stuff got turned off. Oh, I don't need that. Oh, that's neat. Huh. Power outages. Oh, look at that. Huh. It's pretty neat. Give me just a second to figure out where they changed all this stuff around on me. No. I love it when they do this. I think it's should be storm tracks, but I'm not seeing it. And that's the fun stuff of doing this live. You get to watch me do this in real time. I haven't used it's been a quiet summer around here. We haven't had a lot of storm action going on. So I haven't had a chance to really figure this thing. They move stuff around on me. So anyway, we got anybody watching tonight? I know there are some. I see the stats. Pop in the chat where you are. Don't give me your address. Just kind of say, hey, south side of Evansville, north side of Evansville, western Vanderburgh County. That type of thing. So yeah, you don't have to give me exactly where you are. I don't want that. Want to protect your privacy here. But at the same time, watch the radar and see what's happening. All right. Well, anyway, they changed some stuff up. So we do have a new tornado warning just popped up. And it's probably going to be this one right here. We're just going to dive in and take a look at a couple of these. This sucker right here is getting real concerning. You see there's a couple little divots here. So if you know anybody in Bone Gap, Albion, is it really moving that direction? I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, so I would say the National Weather Service has it going straight off to the east, and I'm going to concur with that decision because so if you're in Albion, Mount Carmel, it looks like they're updating the trajectories of some of these. So that's why you're seeing these new warnings popping up for Gibson and Warrick, or Gibson, Wabash, and Edwards County. They're just making adjustments because these things are pretty darn fluid and they're popping up very quickly. I still say there's probably going to be a tornado warning out of this storm here in a little bit. We'll keep an eye on it and watch it. Now, if we go take a look at the lightning, I always like to look at the lightning maps just to see what's going on. And there's really not a lot of lightning with these storms. So that's typically what you would see in a typical summertime tornadic storm situation where you have a lot of that uplifting action that's lifting and giving the tornado their power. But this is just sheer energy. So you have powerful winds coming in from the north that's pushing in behind this front, and the winds from the south are circulating up, blowing here, and they're just blowing sideways. So you're not going to necessarily get the long track tornadoes out of these, but you are going to get the some spin ups. These are a little annoying ones that just kind of pop up and cause damage, and they're hard to find on radar. You really have to really be looking very closely at what these are doing. So, but anyway, if you have just joined us, I want to welcome you aboard tonight. We have a few people watching on this Sunday night. Probably a lot of you are getting ready to go back to work tomorrow. I know I am. I took last week off. But we'll be heading back to the regular work day. Hopefully we won't have anything major come out of this. Like I said, you have these chances of a few tornadoes popping up. That's why we're seeing all these little warnings pop up here and there. But the biggest threat in all these storms, all the way across the board, are going to be straight line winds tonight. I'm going to look at my app. I have a app on my phone called Ting, and it's a power monitoring app that we use for our house to check our electric. And yeah, so it's saying that a lot of the electric outages that are being reported are the ones that were up in these counties in this general area here. So there's apparently a lot of power outages near Fairfield, Olney. A lot of places are reporting those. So we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that just popped in. It's going to be covering Gibson County. That goes until 6:45 p.m. And that is going to be this guy right here that just popped in. Expires in 51 minutes. And if you look at these, it says tornado possible. And that just basically means that this type of storm system is capable of producing a spin-up tornado. Looks like the wind threat is about 60 miles an hour, that's significant. And a very small hail threat. The thing is with these thunderstorms moving through, they don't really have a lot of height to them. They have a lot of just a lot of sheer energy going into it. There's a lot, this air mass right here, if you go outside right now, feel how just sticky the air is. Give it a couple out once this moves through, go outside again and feel it. It's going to start to feel very dry, and it'll actually continue to dry out through the night tonight. There we go. Got to remember to use my cough button. All right. So yeah, it looks like they popped up another severe thunderstorm warning, and we just keep seeing some of these are just overlaying each other. But if you look on the right-hand side of your screen, that is our new edition. I actually hacked that thing up before. Literally, I finished it probably about 30 minutes before going on the air tonight. So it'll show the latest, it pulls from the National Weather Service's feed, and it'll show the latest warning for specific counties. I put some debug code in there with the show warrant watches. I'm actually going to take that out because I don't need that. I just wanted that. There was a watch earlier, and I just wanted to make sure things were working correctly. But yeah, we'll just continue to watch this. It's getting ready to move into Mount Carmel, Grayville, and mainly Gibson County will be under the gun next. So we got a little bit of time here before it really starts to kick up here in Evansville. Initial projections, we showed that it was going to be hitting Posey County around 6 p.m., but it looks like that's a little bit delayed. So we're probably going to be maybe a 10-minute delay possibly of that moving into Posey County. Same thing with Evansville, and things just kind of, it's moving a little bit slower pace than what they saw. Now, there's a couple concerning things I just saw pop up with this latest radar scan. Check this out. Right here, right here, right here. This puppy is really starting to bow out. So when we see that, that generally indicates that there's winds. There's a batch of strong winds that are going to be hitting this area here, and these areas here. I'm going to do a quick little scan, take a look at the velocity. Again, I'm not seeing a lot on the straight velocity, so I have to go to the storm relative velocity. And that is where we're going to see, yeah, so if you look up here near Albion and Bone Gap, there is a pretty good chance of a rotation or at least a little tornado spinning up in this area here. In fact, let's look at the correlation coefficient. Yeah, there's a little bit of, there's some debris signature there. So definitely something has happened. I would probably say, oh, that's a lot of farmland. So that's fortunate that it is, looks like it's north of Albion, Illinois, or it could be potentially in Albion, is where we have seen that damage. So it looks like it's it's actually passed through Albion by now. Let's look at it and see if we can see the path. Let's go on the manual mode here. So yeah, if I was saying there was a tornado would have developed, it would have passed north of town. Let's zoom in a little further there. Yeah, a lot of county roads out in that area. Right now, though, it is concerning that there does seem to be pretty good development right here in this area. So, you know anybody that lives in Belmont, Maud, Ogden? This puppy's heading right for Mount Carmel. Yeah, so if you know anybody that's in Mount Carmel, that is going to be a concern. This is the big concern right now, where we have a heavy signature rotation, and there's also a pause. Well, the latest scan doesn't show as much on here, but there looks like there was a brief moment where there could have been a spin up tornado and some. The correlation coefficient basically just shows you when there's bigger particles. So that usually corresponds with debris in the upper atmosphere. So my electrical outage map is updating, and it says the closest outage is reported up near. Looks like there's a lot of stuff up in Robinson, Illinois. So the biggest thing we're watching once again on these is we're going to watch what I call these fingers. And you see this flashing again. I'm going to have to debug this application just a little bit, because the National Weather Service is literally taking the same warning and they're dragging it and dropping it and making it different sizes. So I got to figure out how to handle that. But this puppy right here, Mount Carmel, get ready. Belmont, Maud, I think the tornado is going to be more right in this area. This is probably where it's at. So it's probably going to pass north of highway. What is this? Is that Highway 50? Not sure. Let's see if we can get a highway number here. State Route 15, heading into Carmel. And then once it heads into Gibson County, so you're looking at probably north of Lyle Station. Oh, the power plant right there. And then Patoka. And then it's kind of difficult to say what this thing's going to do that far in advance, just because how rapidly these things develop and fall apart. It is still concerning if you're in Gibson County. This whole area, even though our eyes are on the tornado warning right now, keep your eye on these bowing areas right here, because this is an indication of strong straight line winds developing. So we have an area here, and then we have an area right here. And I'm going to animate these just to see which direction those are blowing. Yeah, so they're expanding out in this. So the tornadic activity is actually heading this way, but these straight line winds are actually kind of doing this. So just be prepared for those in Owensville, Griffith, Cynthiana, Hobstadt. That's where we're going to see these probably straight line winds. But once again, this can change pretty rapidly. Oh, look at, so we got something new. It just popped up on this scan right here. We're going to dig in a little bit here. I think this is the one I said would possibly cause a tornado warning earlier, maybe. We need to keep our eye on this, because this is the one. This is going to be. What are you doing, Mr. Storm? You're looking a little weird on my screen. Anything called the correlation coefficient? I wouldn't. No, nothing there. Let's go back to velocity. What is happening here? This is an interesting one. So I'm looking at the area that's developing. This may be a nothing burger, possibly. Or, right here. Found it. This is why it's good to be hyper-local and look at this stuff. So right here, and that should probably correspond just directly to the west of Crossville. It's probably corresponding to the Hiver. Yep, sure thing. That's where it is. So if you look at this section here, this is probably, they don't have a confirmed tornado yet, but I would guess that National Weather Service probably should issue a tornado warning here because this is developing as we speak. And I would expect this to continue to move off to the east and into Posey County. But once again, take a look at this. So our storm that was producing the potential tornadic activity. Oh, it's okay. It's still got a little bit of signature there to it. So I'm not going to write this one off just yet. It's just kind of hidden in the rain, it looks like. And it is getting very close to the radar. So we kind of start to lose a little bit of visibility of a few things once things get really close to the radar site, which is in Gibson County. We can switch to another one. But once again, what we're watching for are these Boeing echoes and these little, what I call fingers right here. And this is just something we're just got to keep our eyes on as this storm system moves through. Wait a second. Did we have a cup of we have a sip of coffee yet? It's our coffee. We've got to drink our coffee and watch our radar. Decaf. So I'm going to probably bet they're going to issue a severe thunderstorm warning probably for Posey County really soon. Probably same thing for Union County, Kentucky. It might shoot over in Evansville as well too. We'll see what the National Weather Service comes up with. I'm going to back out just a little bit, and then I'm going to animate this and just kind of get an overall view of what this thing is doing. So it does feel like, just by looking at it, it does feel like it's kind of falling apart a little bit and losing a little bit of strength, which is, it'll be a good sign for Evansville area. And that's kind of what I saw earlier in the models were showing this puppy just really blowing up over central Illinois. Still continuing, but a little bit weaker through southern Indiana, and then it continues to push off to the east. And then this cold weather, by the time we wake up tomorrow morning, it's going to be down to like 25 degrees. I'm sure everybody's excited about that. I already got the firewood ready to go. So I'm going to probably imagine as soon as this thing gets closer to Evansville, we'll probably have a few more Evansville people coming in and joining us tonight. And all we do here is if it's your first time here, what we do is we just sit here and drink coffee and watch our radar. So the latest scan does show that the front line of this is getting ready to cross into Gibson County at this time. It's not too far from New Harmony. And while we got kind of a slow moment here, I am going to try to figure out how to get my storm reports. No. Actually, I'm going to turn that on. just to see. We're playing with some stuff real time here, so. Oh, radar settings. I bet it's in here. Storm tracks. Here we go. And we're America. We use miles per hour here. All right, let's see if it pops up any storm tracks for me to use here. And of course it hasn't. So, all right. So they just issued a new tornado warning for, well, what they did is they just resized it. Yeah, that's what they did. They resized both of those warnings. Currently a tornado warning in effect until 6:15 p.m. for Wabash County, Illinois, right here. And then also tornado warning for Gibson County. They currently have it in here. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Gibson County as well. Straight line winds being the biggest concern right now at this point. But I will say that this thing is starting to look like it's falling apart. It's definitely losing some of its definition. It's probably going to still hold together a little bit. And don't let it fool you too. It could weaken and then just pop right back up again when it heads over Posey County. So we'll see what it does. I'm going to take a look at the models over here. We'll take a brief break from the radar and go look at, see if we have a latest scan here. Yes, we do. So let's take a look at the HRR, see what they're showing here. So yeah, they're still showing this holding together pretty good, even through Western Kentucky. But as you can see there, it's really strong. Kind of starts to fall apart a little bit as it hits over us, but it still stays together. So I'm not writing this storm off just yet. Okay. Take a look at the lightning map. And once again, there's not a lot of lightning with these storms. So it looks like right now a lot of the bowing that we saw has kind of subsided. So this thing's kind of straight line just a little bit. We'll just keep our eye on this as it continues to progress over the area. This was an area that we were watching earlier, just to the south and west of Carmi. And I'm not seeing anything concerning right now there, other than just wind. So don't write off that this has got some pretty darn good gusts to them. So yeah, so I would anticipate that we have a pretty decent wind event occurring up here along this area. A good amount of rain over here in Carmi, to the west of Carmi as well too. I'm going to look at the echo tops here. And, well, we are pretty close to the radar. Let me hop down the Paducah radar and take a look at it from there. If we look, these storms are really not very high. They don't go very high at all. If we were to examine some of these, some of the highest storms, like where the rotations are, 30,000 feet is all. Now that's pretty high, but not typical summertime thunderstorms. They're could be up 40, 50,000 feet. And I do look at a lot of times for this area, look at this from the Paducah radar, because when you move up here to the Gibson County radar, we have this kind of a cone of silence, so we really can't see what's going on there. But generally, this means that we're probably not going to get a lot of hail with these storms. We're just looking at wind. Looking at wind, some heavy rains, maybe some of those twirly things. Whoa, what just happened? Come back. There we go. Oh, what's this thing do? Found a new little thing. New little. Oh, that's my. Okay, got it. That's the storm tracker thing. You know, I really should have played with all the new features in this program before before going live, but it is what it is. So it does look like a new, and this is kind of outside of our area. Another tornado warning, maybe. Okay, that's actually that tornado warning. This is not. This is outside of what I'm monitoring in the area to the right on your screen. It looked like just another severe thunderstorm warning just to the west of Vincennes. So it does look like this storm is starting to kind of behave a little bit, and it's just basically turning into a big wall of wind at this point. We're going to keep our eyes out for the little fingers, what I call the little storm fingers, popping out. Do a little scan up and down, see if we can find any. I thought maybe this one would produce something down here, but not really. And even, oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Even that Mount Carmel storm, it's still got a little bit of definition there to it, but not much. So yeah, hopefully this will be a non-event for us. That's kind of what we're hoping for. Yeah, if you look at it down here near El Dorado, there's so much shear in the upper atmosphere that it's literally knocking the tops off of these storms. Now it's still pretty violent up there, but man, it's you can actually look at the radar and watch it, how it just kind of literally almost blows the storm apart down here near El Dorado, Illinois. El Dorado, Illinois. See this little gap here that formed? That is literally the southern shear just blowing up through there. It's penetrating that and just blowing that storm apart. Oh, what we got going over here and over Evansville? Do we have a second line starting to form? That is a possibility. Very light. That's just maybe it's just a little bit of light rain. Not much right at this point. But it is possible that a second line will a second line form in this? I don't know. I don't think this is not this type of storm system where you typically see that second line form. It could. It almost acts like it wants to, doesn't it? So let's see, we've been live here for about 40 minutes on this thing. And yeah, so this storm, so this view right now, what we're looking at here, the storm's just now crossing into Gibson County and into Posey County, in northern Posey County. And this is about what we originally predicted for like 6 o'clock. So it's running about 20 minutes behind the initial schedule of what the models were showing a few hours ago. It's close, though. I will say that is pretty close, but we got a couple special weather statements popping up down here. Let's take a look at those. Oh, just telling everybody to seek shelter inside a building. Yeah, these storms are going to be a little fun. Fun fact is, we're waiting on these to come across the river today. I did go hiking over here near Hallsville, Kentucky. There's a little place right over here. It's actually right in here, called Jeffries Cliffs. Very neat place. Very beautiful. Highly recommend going over there. It was a nice day to go hiking. Okay, yeah, there's our new severe thunderstorm warning. Just issued for most of Posey County now. Note that they do not have the flag on there that says tornado possible. So I think they're kind of possibly ruling it out on this storm, and I think, let's see if I agree with that. Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with that. I mean, something can still pop up and spin up. But I don't see anything super organized right now. So we're looking at the severe thunderstorm warning here for Posey County. Whew. That's going to go till 7 p.m. tonight. Biggest threat's obviously going to be wind gust. Radar indicated. Let's see. Poseyville, New Harmony, Crossville, Cynthiana, Blairsville, Griffith. Pronounce that for me. Monty? And Phillipstown. I don't know where that is. So yeah, looks like we're just be dealing with some wind, which is good. I mean, it can still cause power outages, but let's take a little look at the Ting power outage tracker. Yeah, it's still showing Illinois, Effingham, Robinson, Illinois areas having some outages. So maybe this won't be as bad as we thought. So I'm looking at some of the posts from my previous message. Someone said that 6 and 7 p.m. is a whole lot better than 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. That is true because, yeah, that's when we had the big December 6th tornado come through at 2 and 3 a.m. Now everybody's up. You're all aware of what's going on. And if you're just joining us tonight, we're sitting here watching radar and drinking coffee. Yeah, it looks like we've lost the tornado warnings have all pretty much dropped off. And I was kind of expecting that once it hit Indiana. There's still a little bit there, but it really kind of lost its. The biggest shear we saw was over Illinois. Oh, am I really not streaming that good of quality? Hang on, let's see if I can fix this. Strange. Well, we'll stick with this. Stick with this until we get to here in Evansville. Like I said, it looks like it lost some of its power as it's moving into Indiana. And just take a quick look at the lightning maps. Really not a lot going on here. And that's mainly because we don't have that strong vertical development like we see in typical convective systems. I tell you what, though, let's take a look at what's going on just south of New Harmony here. So, ooh, this is interesting. Got that. It fell apart. Okay, never mind. It's kind of, well, what we got here. It's trying to do something, I can tell you that. Yep, it's definitely trying to do something. There's some rotation there that is just trying to kick off. I'm going to go split screen mode here so we can kind of see side-by-side comparison. And what have you been doing? Yeah, it's trying to. So I don't really know if this is really going to kick off to anything, but I would keep a watch in this area. Hepburn, Wadesville, Blairsville, St. Wendell. Just keep your eye on this. I don't think it's doing anything right now, but let's keep an eye on it. Yeah, that kind of bumped out there pretty quick, didn't it? And really, it doesn't look like. Let's take a look. It's high res velocity. Let's go look at the storm relative. And it really kind of looks like the winds have died down just a little bit here in the upper levels. So this might be good news for us tonight. Oh, of course, now the storm tracks are going to show up on here. Okay. So, yeah, it looks like they are moving. Well, that's an annoying feature. How am I supposed to see what the cell's doing? Yeah, so it looks like they edited one of the. So it looks like right now Princeton is getting the front line of the mainly wind, just kind of like a wind line hitting. We'll keep an eye on this guy right here. Yeah, whatever that was fell apart. We do have a couple areas down here that perhaps we should probably watch. Here and here. Yep, that's what I thought. So there's a, just what we saw. There's a little finger starting to stick out here. And where are you going? Are you still going east like everybody else is doing? Yeah. So if you're Mount Vernon, we're going to keep an eye on this right here. It may fall apart pretty quick too. That's kind of what we've been seeing the past several minutes with this storm. Does look like they did issue a new severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to cover the second part of Gibson County and into Pike County as well too. That one's going to go till 7. Okay, we got it. Yeah, it touches Warrick County ever so slightly. I just heard the storm sirens going off here in Newburgh. They're going off right now. But what they're warning about is, and I'm pretty sure what they're looking at is this kind of bowing echo right here, and it's starting to form. It's starting to form again. The thing about these storm systems is that they'll flatten out and they'll push out again. They'll flatten out and they'll push out. They'll go through these cycles. So it's difficult to tell what exactly they're going to do. Just you got to kind of stay alert. I am kind of concerned about this finger right here. Where is that? So yeah, getting ready to go just south of Wadesville, Blairsville. Let's dig in deeper here, see what we got. Yeah, there is a little area of rotation there. So if you're nobody in Blairsville, south of Wadesville at this time, probably a St. Wendell, Parker Settlement, probably north of Parker Settlement, and then there's a chance of some rotation. Could see a brief tornado pop up there. Correlation coefficient is not really giving us a whole lot because we're so close to the radar here. Sorry, I'm yawning. Tired. Yeah, I don't think there's enough. I mean, if there is anything, you're going to probably use some wind. Maybe a gust NATO or something could come out of something like this. But if you look behind it, the storm's really kind of losing its... Oh, yeah. See where it kind of fell apart there? I think what happened here is it hit some shear and it's blowing this storm apart again. So you're seeing it kind of just fall apart there. And they might issue a severe thunderstorm warning for Evansville here shortly. They may and they may not. It's just that some of the storms really kind of, it's losing its power, losing its strength. Not as strong as it was earlier. Definitely it is not as strong as it was earlier. Upper level winds right now, storm relative. I mean, 30, 40. Yeah, they might issue a severe thunderstorm warning for Vanderburgh County just kind of out of posterity maybe, but if you're in Warrick County right now hearing the storm sirens go off, literally here's the reason why. Look at this. It touches like this little bit, this polygon barely touches the top part of Warrick County up here. So that's the reason why their storm sirens across the entire county are going off right now. But yeah, this thing may fall apart by the time it reaches Evansville. Or I think it's lost enough of its power that, let's take a look at the winds up here to see what they're doing. I mean, even to the northern area here, we're looking at winds in the 40s, 20s. There might be some isolated gusts here or there. Oh, look at that. Couple small areas there, right along the front edge. We got a 70 mile per hour. So yeah, there could be some, there's a little bit of bowing here where that rotation seems to be kind of gone now. Looks like something else might be trying to develop there too, but we're really just looking at some, quite frankly, these storms have really lost a lot of their power. So maybe we're going to get lucky here in Evansville, Newburgh tonight. Posey County, you may not be doing too terribly bad right now as well too. This is probably just an anomaly. Let's go down and look. Yeah, I think that's something weird bouncing off the radar or something there. It is interesting to watch this little blob of nothing kind of push its way to the north. It's just a little area of shear that southern wind is just hitting this and just blowing the storm apart. So heck, we may not stay on here very long, much longer. It looks like the tornadic threat it's reduced greatly. In fact, the newest severe thunderstorm warning they issued for Gibson and Pike counties, they don't even list as a potential tornado threat. Same thing for the one out in Gibson County. So we may just hang out here, just kind of see what it does. This decaf coffee's not doing anything for me. Yeah, so the front of the storm is starting to move into Vanderburgh County now, and I'm going to probably guess it's below severe limits. Like I said, it's fallen apart. It's still a lot of the stronger stuff looks like it'd be to the north, and honestly, it looks like we're getting a little bit. There's some strong stuff to the south, and it looks like we're getting a little bit of a break here in the Evansville area. So what I may do is I may just let this run and turn my video off. Keep the radar on there if you need to watch it for whatever reason. Is Facebook really not? Oh, for goodness sake. Hang on. No, I should be on. Huh. Yeah, I'm watching on Facebook. I wonder if Facebook's just not notifying people. Maybe I busted the algorithm or something. I went to my profile and it says I'm live. I don't know. I don't try to keep up with all these dab blasted algorithms. They literally change every other week. What do we got going on here? So we might have a little bit of wind organization starting to form across this little bow echo right here. It might get a little bump. But let's take a peek at the winds again because you know what? It might be. It is increasing. I mean, the velocity of some of these areas is increasing a little bit. Now, keep in mind, we are pointed up at the sky here, so these are not necessarily winds on the ground. Oh, well, look at that. Yep. Oh, check this out. We got a possible tornado just north of Hopstadt. Oh, and that thing fell apart. Look at it. They just put a tornado warning out. Let's see. Okay, that was radar indicated. So we have a tornado warning now for, looks like where it was, what generated the tornado warning. Let's see how this thing comes up. Right there. So yeah, just south of basically south of Hopstadt. Actually going through Hopstadt right now. If it is actually doing anything. Let's take a look we're going to look at the correlation. Oh, stop. There we go. Good radar. Let's take a look at the correlation coefficient here and see if there's any debris signatures in the air. I'm going to go to just the rocking mode here. I don't really see anything. So it does look like this tornado warning is issued for southern Gibson County, northern Vanderburgh County, and northern Warrick County. But I'm going to be frank with you here. Just not seeing it. Well, okay, I'm lying. I do see it. It's going to be this area right here. South side of Hopstadt. So you're talking about like the community park there, and Hopstadt's right there. Yeah, it might get a little exciting tonight. Oh, look at this. We might have a little bit of a party here. So it does look like it is picking up again. We have a bow echo starting to form here. And at the same time, we're getting some fingers showing up right here, here, here. Looks like Mount Vernon's getting rain right now. Let's keep an eye on this Hopstadt situation right now. Yeah, it is. The storm is definitely rotating up there pretty good. Not strong rotation. So literally, it's right over the town of Hopstadt right now. If it is doing anything, we're just mainly talking about straight line winds, but with a possible embedded tornado with a storm. We're keeping an eye on the correlation coefficient. I'm not really seeing anything show up on this just yet. Let me go split mode here. And this velocity, it just keeps popping in and out. There's another area concerned down here right to the south. Near the St. James. This is where over here near Warrington, it's heading towards where the pilot Flying J, the Wendy's there at that intersection just north of 64, and this is Highway 41 we're looking at right here. So like I said, this is Highway 41. There's that Pilot, Flying J, and this is the area of concern we're talking about right here. But I do not see any signs of debris in the air. If we have anything, it's probably going to be off this Hopstadt storm, and it does look like it has now crossed Highway 41 and continuing to move off to the east here. So looks like it's going just a little bit off State Route 68. Looks like it's kind of following that down to the east. I-69 is going to be passing over this area as well too. It does feel like it does have a little bit of a northern path to it. Oh yeah, it's a pretty good dip right there. So yeah, this is probably a good call by the National Weather Service. Let's see if we got anything on the correlation coefficient yet. I'm going to call that a maybe. Let's rock it here a little bit. Yeah, it's difficult to say what we're seeing here. But if you are just joining us, I know the storm sirens are going off and starting to get a few more people popping on the streams now, it looks like. If you're joining us, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. We don't need the winter weather radar. That's actually going to tell us absolutely nothing because we'll need that tomorrow, though. It'll be cold weather tomorrow. But we are watching this storm. I'm not going to downplay this one that's moving through getting ready to move through Evansville now as well, too. West side of Evansville looks like from St. Phillips to Kaysen up to Darmstadt. You probably just got it. Highland area, the airport, getting ready to hit with some straight line winds there. National Weather Service has not issued a severe thunderstorm warning for this yet. This storm is kind of picking back up steam again. It kind of lost it for a little bit, but it looks like it's kind of picking. In fact, it was losing it so much I was actually getting ready to log off. But looks like it is picking up just a little bit. With this area of concern right now, we're watching to the east of Hopstadt, where we see this little coupling right here. As you see, the storm relative winds are not very strong. And the radar is picking up some decent stuff, but and this finger is starting to get absorbed into that storm cell as well now, so that may fall off. We'll continue to keep an eye on it up here. So the area of concern we're talking about right now is this little guy right here, just to the west of Wheatonville. It's getting ready to cross I-69 just north of. It's riding just north of 64 right now, so it looks like probably between I-64 and 68. But give it a few miles plus or minus. It looks like they updated that tornado warning, made it a little smaller. It's kind of what I expected. And this is starting to shape up into a little bit of an event here, it looks like. I want to keep my eye on this section right here. This storm is really starting to bow pretty good right here. So I'm going to kind of put a little warning out to, this is not a storm warning, but this area right here, mainly the center section, Melody Hill, probably moving through Chandler and Boonville if it holds together. We'll see. And what we're watching for in these storms as they're moving through here, one thing I just keep repeating that I watch for on the radar, bowing action. Now this is not a super strong bow, it's a little bit of one, and then what I call the little fingers. So these guys right here, where you see these little fingers, that's areas where there could be potentially some rotation, and that is why they have a tornado warning in effect for these areas here. So this potential storm looks like it's just passed through the Wheatonville area. It will probably cross I-64 here shortly. And I'm not saying this tornado, I'm going to call this the area of concern. Got to be careful with what I say. Don't want it to offend the weather people. And it looks like it's lost its organization. Wind-wise, I would look out on, particularly on the west side of Evansville. Right now, we do have and passing through Evansville right now. Could be a little windy. Obviously, nothing, storm spotters have not really reported anything too dangerous going across Evansville just yet, apparently. So we don't have a severe thunderstorm warning. Tell you what, this storm was kicking off like crazy when we went live earlier in southern Illinois. Went upstairs to eat dinner. I thought I'd have enough time to eat dinner and come down and have enough time, but no. There's my whole entire screen was filled with warnings already over in Illinois. So now we're just watching this thing move across Evansville right now. Do we have any live cams we could pull up? Indiana traffic-wise, Indiana DOT. Let's see what we got here. Do we have anything in Evansville we can look at? So let's see. St. Joe Avenue. I'm going to, let's see, what screen will show this? Yeah, here we go. Right now, St. Joe Avenue, not really seeing, not a lot of traffic out tonight either. Let's go a little further west. Doesn't even look like it's raining there, does it? Maybe those. Check the timestamps. 46. Yeah, some of these are old too. Right now, we're just looking at some of the cameras here in Evansville, across the Indiana DOT through Evansville. Do we have anything to the north? Yeah, we're not seeing anything there as well, too. Oh, play video. Here we go. Let's check this out. See what happens here. Well, that doesn't work. All right. All right, so we're not seeing anything showing up. Wait a second. Is that a playground in this rest area? Look at that. Huh. I knew they redid that rest area, but I didn't realize they added a whole bunch of extra stuff to it. Cool. All right, we'll hop back over to radar here real quick. That's why we're here. Just to watch Okay, we got a little fun forming here on the west side of Evansville right now, it looks like. Where is this? Just a little south of the USI for beer and Mud Center. Actually, it's already past USI. Whatever this is, looks like it's going to be heading into the downtown area here really soon. So if you're in the downtown area, we're going to want to pay attention to this. Let me rock this back and forth a little bit here and see how this has been developing. Yeah, we'll call this an area of concern here. So if you live on the south side of Evansville, downtown Evansville, let's keep our eye on this. And we don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings, and really the winds on these have probably dropped below severe limits at this point, which is a good news for everybody. There could be a little spin up action going on here. You know, the tornadoes that are spun off these things, they don't like cause catastrophic damage, but they're just kind of that annoying damage as you get. You know, knocks a few trees over, blows a yard barn over, different things like that. But yeah, fortunately for us here in the Indiana side, so far it's looked pretty uneventful, which is good. It's kind of what we were wanting. Nice and boring. Tell you what, the temperatures in the next few days are not going to be boring. I can tell you that right now. Check this out. Temperatures are just going to drop tonight. So as soon as this front passes, we're going to be like, we're about we're about 70 right now here in Evansville, and by midnight it's going to be in the 30s, and by daybreak tomorrow we're looking at 21 degrees. So yeah, it looks like we lost our definition up here near that one that was producing tornado up for near Linville. We're gonna stay with this here for just a little bit longer. As soon as it passes by my house in Newburgh, we're gonna call it quits. Shut this puppy down. Take the last sip of coffee, and I'm gonna get a few things done before I have to go back to work tomorrow. We were kind of watching this area right here. Heading into the south side of Evansville. And if this develops into anything, it could potentially head towards the Newburgh area as well now, too. But if it's going to do anything, it looks like it's starting to kind of gain a little momentum. We'll see what happens. If anything, it looks like it's probably going to follow south of I-69. I would actually say the whole southwest side of Evansville. But we are really digging right now to find stuff. We're going to zoom out just a bit. Let's kind of take a look and see what's going on in other places. Obviously, the tornado watch is still in effect. And it doesn't go much further on beyond Daviess County, Tell City, Owensboro, Kentucky. It's because they anticipate these storms are kind of going to lose their power as they continue to press off to the east. And that's kind of what we're seeing. They have lost a lot of their juice. And we're seeing new storm warnings pop up there, but they're just resizing stuff. Oh, what we got going up here near Winslow? take a look at this. Now this is interesting because it's inverted. Let's see what happens. What's been going on there? That is interesting. That is embedded within the actual storm itself. I don't think it's that. Just think it's just a section area of wind. Yeah, we're about ready to wrap this live stream up, I think, here. We are keeping our eye on this little finger that's forming off the south side of Evansville, but at the same time, the storm has really lost its velocity. They're not moving as fast as it was anymore. Oh, look at that. Oh, that is interesting. So they just popped a severe thunderstorm warning for this area right here. I wonder if they meant to hit tornado warning. Let's see what we got. Let's take a look. Okay, tornado is possible here. This is what I was talking about. All right, south side of Evansville. This is what we were watching earlier. Let's go back to our velocity. And yeah, so right now, the area of concern is probably going to be around Highway 41, I-69 area, currently moving off to the east. Let's take a look at the movement of this rotation area. What are they doing? They just adjusted it. Guys, come on, you're killing me here. Yeah, see how there's kind of a little bit of a coupling there on it? It keeps popping in and out. That's what's probably generating this. So yeah, so they've issued the severe thunderstorm warning for Vanderburgh, Warrick, and Gibson all the way to 7:45 p.m. tonight. Dang, they really pushed that out there, didn't they? It's interesting. And a severe thunderstorm warning for Vanderburgh, Henderson, and Union County. Okay, there it is. I see it. That just popped up there. So let's take a look down on this one here. So we could have some spin up tornadoes anywhere along this line here. We're mainly watching this area to the south side of Evansville. But it looks like it's kind of fallen apart at this point. Taking a peek at what's happening here. I don't see anything there. Henderson looks like they're just getting ready to get some wind. This right here, down just to the north of Waverly, is probably why they've issued that severe thunderstorm warning for this large area right here. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of wind with that. And it does look like this area concerned around on the south side of Evansville has kind of officially fallen apart now. But the next one we're keeping our eyes on is this area just to the west of Corden, Kentucky right now. This little finger that's popping out. And we will still keep our eye on this area right here. I'm going to animate this here real quick just to kind of get an idea of what this thing's doing. Oh yeah, check it out. They just popped a tornado warning off down here for near Corden, Kentucky. Radar indicated. That's kind of what I thought they would do. So this will be a short-lived one, probably. So this is the area that they're concerned about, south of Smith Mills. I would expect that this storm's probably going to move. Yeah, the rotation is going pretty much to the east. So Corden, Kentucky is probably where we're going to see that issue occur. But we're going to keep an eye on this. It's getting ready to cross my house now here in just a little bit. And once we're through Henderson, it looks like the city of Henderson proper is just going to get some wind here. Just give a quick little exam to make sure that there's no other fingers popping up here. I don't think there are. I tell you what, there's probably going to be a pretty good wind event happening right now in Chandler and maybe even Boonville. And we're just keeping an eye on this down here where they originally put that severe thunderstorm warning out. But man, I think they probably should have did it for up here. I think they were mainly concerned about this possible area of rotation. It is still there, by the way. Looks like it's going to probably pass to the south of Newburgh. We'll have to see what happens with this. In fact, I may need to do what every Midwestern guy does whenever one of these storms move through is go outside and just actually take a look at it. I'm going to do that right now. I will be right back. I'm going to take a peek at this puppy. See what we're dealing with. I know the skies are dark right now, but let's see if I see anything. Definitely lightning. Lightning is definitely not a factor with the storm. There's just not a lot of lightning happening at all. I'll be right back. I'm going to take a look outside. I'll be with you shortly. Keep the radar up here. And we're back. So the wind is just now starting to hit us here in Newburgh, and it's blowing pretty good out there. There's no rain at my house yet, but definitely looks like there's some coming. As far as the tornado threat for down here in Henderson County, really, it's you can tell I'm just really not impressed by this thing, aren't you? I'm just not seeing it. I'm not saying let your guard down, but at the same time, it's just this puppy's kind of really losing its gas. There is this little area of shear here to the south of Newburgh. We'll keep our eye on. Let's see, am I storm relative? Yeah, storm relative. So what this is these are the winds blowing pretty strong from the south, and these are ones. So probably if you're on the west side of Evansville, now the backfill winds. Look at this. I mean, they're kicking pretty strong back here. But I tell you what, for most part, I think most everybody that I know, this has probably cleared your area, and it looks like we're just didn't get much. We're gonna get some wind. It's gonna be windy over the next. In fact, wind gusts are still gonna be gusting overnight tonight. So, but I don't see any like tornadic danger or any like straight wind danger right now. Maybe this guy right here. We got something forming down here. What's going on down here? Just north of Basket. I don't know if we actually have anything or not. They did just issue another severe thunderstorm warning. Oh, look at this. Up here in Huntingburg and Jasper. They're really getting some good wind up there. I think they're getting a little bit stronger than we get. So, but down here, looks like the danger is any threat that we would have potentially had has now passed Evansville, Henderson, and Boonville. Most people I know in these areas. There are some strong backfill winds. Who's at my front door? Backfill winds coming in, and but yeah, that's pretty much all we're gonna. Let's see. Oh, it's my wife. She's out there taking the wind is just now hitting. Oh, well, I guess I could have looked at my doorbell. Yeah, it's just starting to rain here. I think that's all we're going to get, folks. A pretty uneventful night for us, which is a good sign. We want that. And at this point, I'm going to go and end the stream. Want to thank you for watching tonight. Even though nothing much happened, we tried out some new features, fixed a few bugs. Oh, I do have a bug here. Let's look at this. So let me debug this here real quick while we're live. Let me see if I can figure this out. Oh, anyway. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. It showed up now. Okay. All right. We had a new feature tonight where we can see the severe thunderstorm warnings pop up live on the right-hand side. It does have a few bugs with it. As it looks like as the National Weather Service kind of reshapes stuff, they're messing with a few things there. So anyway, I don't really see any concern for anybody that I know on here. Owensboro, you'll be next, but I'm going to probably anticipate this is even going to lose more of its gas by the time it gets over there. So anyway, thank you everybody for watching. It's been fun. Enjoy your coffee. If you got anything out of this tonight, you got to sip on some coffee. Probably not good this late, right before bedtime, but hey, it is what it is. With that, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. Thanks a lot for watching.